All right. So I seen the movie Honk for Jesus today, right? With Regina Hall, and I'm getting the male's name confused. Sorry about that. All right. Sterling Brown, I think. Right. Something like that. Well, coincidentally, like I told you, the biggest problem today in the church is scandal, right? Including gay scandal, right? Is that why you're attacking me? I'm trying to teach you the real Jesus? Yes, yeah. I know, I know. But my stepdaughter and me aren't around each other. I keep telling you that, right? Only if she either, here's the problem, after we all went to sleep, right? Me, my ex-wife, and her, in the bedroom with her mother, right? And this is where you're getting crazy. That's why I'm confessing it. The location of where I was at. You don't want to hear it, do you? I know. What you're doing is you're pretending I'm the pedophile, right? But the child would literally have to wake me up. Literally, right? They tell you the children does not know about sex unless they're being either coached or done it with somebody in the first place, right? So if you're accusing me and I tell you I'm sleeping on the couch, right, and I'm the mother and daughter in the bedroom, you're changing that scenario, right? Not me, my ex-wife, or the girl. There's about a 0 chance she'll wake me up, right? If she does, what can I do about it? Try to figure it out, right? Like I told you, there's only 4 reasons I know of, and that's if she can't wake up her mom. Right? A child will wake you up in the middle of the night, right? Even to leave her mother and come in the living room to me, right? One is she is afraid of the dark and the light was on in the living room and not on in the bathroom. Maybe she just told me to turn on the light. I don't know. That's another possibility, right? Right. But it's a what? Possibility of what? See, when you accuse me and my ex-wife is there, you're accusing her over me, right? You're saying she was trying to set me up or something, right? With her stepdaughter, right? Not me, not you. God, have you lost your mind, right? Is the church so bad, right? That me just being affiliated with Pastor Davis, right, makes you act this crazy about it, right? And see, I didn't get into the unionship program, you understand? I tied the church, maybe more than I should have, right? But that's kind of what I was taught to do, right? Too. I was giving them money, right? I was taught that, right? But from my pocket, right? See, I think part of the scam was they would get them to give an allotment to it. I don't know. Well, they're kind of careful with that with me for some reason because I was just giving them money anyway, right? Kind of straight, right, from the ATM, right? So you get paid in the military through an ATM, right? And instead of, right, getting a allotment, I just put money in the thing, right? They have a little way you can do that. So I was giving the money anyway, right? So maybe the pastor wasn't too worried about that part, if that's part of the scam. I don't know, right? See, that's the point. If you're in the military, you can do what's called an allotment to someone or give the money to them, right? I think that could be part of the scam if you was scamming some of them. But I was putting it in the, I was taught the tithe. So they had shown me something that the other churches in Georgia didn't show me, so I was trying to understand it, right? Not the pastor, right? See, I'm thinking, who? Jesus, right? Pastors don't always know Jesus, right? If you don't know that from Jim Jones, that's what you're supposed to learn from Jim Jones or Jim Baker or anyone who can't admit their sin, right? See, when you break the rules yourself and you're a pastor, right? You're not supposed to, right? You're the example for God, right? But if you do, you got to confess it, right? And there's something weird about not only if Jesus was married, right? Because you're not supposed to bring a married woman to someone playing the Messiah and get him to judge whether he should be stoned or not, according to the law of Moses, right? That has nothing to do with him. Only her husband can determine that fact, right? And if she's caught with a man, she obviously committed adultery, but it's still not Jesus's place, right? To stone her, or not only her husband can't, no, according to the law of Moses as well, right? So, that's none of his business. Like I said, right? That's why he downplayed it, right? Now, you can say they're accusing the woman or they caught her in the act and brought her to Jesus against the law of Moses, and you'll be right, right? You understand what I mean by that, right? Jesus can't, because he's the Messiah, stone her, right? That's not his job, right? It's the husband's right to stone her or not, right? Not his. What do you think I'm trying to tell you about this story, right? One, bringing her to Jesus does nothing if he's not her husband, right? He can't even decide her fate, right? He's not her Lord, right? Though she called him Lord, right? After all that, right? She was glad he saved her life because they were trying to stone her, right? Listen to what it says, right? According to the law of Moses, such as this should be stoned, right? So they're trying to get Jesus to stone her without involving her husband. Or she was a prostitute and didn't have one and was sleeping with a married man. Maybe they were trying to create a different kind of loophole, right? See, if it's a prostitute and the man is married, who's committing the adultery there? The prostitute, right? Now, still both of them, and then the wife would have to stone the husband into prostitute. See? If you're going according to the law of Moses, and the husband is with the prostitute, and he's married to a woman, guess who can stone him then, Jews? The woman. See, he's committing adultery against their marriage with another woman. And she can stone the husband for adultery with the woman. They're both to be stoned, right? But otherwise, it ain't your business, right? It's the whole point, right? Jesus is trying to make to them. This ain't even my concern, right? That's why he ignored them and wrote on the ground, right? Whatever he wrote on the ground, right? But the law says, A, her husband, B, both. Where's the man? Where's the man? Jesus knew the law. They weren't doing this lawfully, right? In bringing her to him at all. I know. What do you think I'm telling you? I know. In the first case, Jesus cannot decide how this woman is to be punished or not. He's not her husband, right? If he is, he can't, right? If he's not, he can't. Do you understand, right? I don't know if Jesus is even married or not. We never again are told scripturally he was or wasn't. Though we do know John the Baptist says, he that has the bride is the bridegroom of Jesus. Whatever that means in chapter 3 after the marriage in Canaan. No. So see that how you want. You don't know either, right? The Catholics don't know. The Romans don't know. That's 300 years later. You don't know. Admit it. You don't know. If he was married or not. You can't force men who are priests not to marry either, Catholics. Bible never said that. Jewish priests could marry, so why not Christian priests? Right. You're trying to change the Torah. You can't do that. Christian or Jew. Right. The law does not prohibit priests from marrying. No, it don't. But the Catholics try to. Right. They're trying to make their priest some kind of unique for the Lord, right? Or he can't marry. Jesus never said that, right? Some in the priesthood If they choose unitship, that's different, right? But if they force unitship on the priest, right, from a group of men, that's not godly. No, it's not. God didn't say you can change his law about marriage of a priest, right? You're doing exactly what they did with the Sabbath day and, again, their mothers and fathers, right? And not honoring them, right? And that means something we don't even understand today. It means the eldest son is to take care of the mother and father as they grow older. Or here's an idea: both children, the son, daughter, whatever, right, are to help take care of the mother and father when they get older, right? If they become too invalid to take care of themselves, right? That's what that was all about, right? See, as you grow older yourself, your parents are going back to the end of their cycle. Mm-hmm. It's the circle of life, right? For us after the fall. Mm-hmm. You're born, you live, say, close to 120 years, and then you die. Mm-hmm. That's your cycle, right? It's like the grass of the field, right? You don't know how old the grade of grass even is, do you? But you have to cut it regularly. You know that. Mm-hmm. But how old is the blade of grass in your yard? Was it put there, like mine was, when they developed this little town, right? This little subdivision? If you know what I mean, right? Was the grass even here, right? No. It was a swampy area, right? This used to be swampland, right? Swamp, 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 swamp music. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Get it now? Well, Regina has the choice. Shane don't. If I'm tempting Regina, I'm not talking to Regina or anyone involved with that production, right? But coincidentally, we're talking about everything involved with the church, including cussing, right? Stuff like that. The church member can cuss, right? He's human too. But the thing is, the church is condemning the church by saying, Jesus says, watch your words. Don't say all these bad words. That's censorship. Jesus never censored anybody. If anyone did, it's the Apostle Peter, right? You understand? Nor did Moses, right? Now, yada has two meanings, right? It means knowledge in that you can know things and do things, but it also means your works produce your knowledge, right? And your mistakes produce your knowledge, but also sexual knowledge, right? See, it's the final knowledge that yada brings, right? Itself as knowledge, right? That you can't deal with, that Adam knew he was naked after he sinned with the tree of knowledge of good and evil that brought him to knowledge of good and evil, right? And you still think it was a fruit tree, idiot. And I'm calling them no-minded individuals acting like an imbecile, right? Because I'm trying to explain it to them through the scriptures themselves, and they refuse to hear it, right? Just like the men in Hosea's day, right? Where he married a prostitute as well. But once she legally binded herself to him, she's his wife, right? That's why he even had to buy her back for 15 shekels of silver and the body of her. There you go. There you go. Morning, Myrtle. I'm sorry. Watching Harry Potter a little bit. But see, does Regina Hall look like my girlfriend in the dream? Could be. Could be. Would Regina Hall have any problem getting to my house? Probably not, right? Has she? I don't know. Right. I've never met the woman, right? That I know of in my day. From zero, when Jane goes to sleep, is the only time Regina could get to Shane, right? Okay, you understand? Right? Not Shane to Regina ever, not even there in the day, right? Regina's, in her own little world, and Shane leaves her there, because he knows better, right? Even if coincidentally I'm talking about the same thing on YouTube with her, with you all. I don't know. But yeah, she could be the girl of my dreams. But has she come by my house to see if I'm the man of her dreams? I don't know. I don't know her dreams, right? I ain't heard no details, right? And I'm home alone still, so I have to let sleeping dogs lie. You know what that means, right? If I don't know I'm with her and she isn't making any moves during the day, I got to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove towards her. That means I know I would be interested in her, but not if she would be interested in me, even if we're talking about something similar in a movie, right? Only you, after I see the movie, could harass Gina, which is another way to call her, yourself, right? And I would never do that to Gina, right? I don't mess with people I don't know. Not even Sarah Michelle Gellar, though she's celebrating her 20th wedding anniversary. Congratulations to her and Freddie Prinze Jr., right? And that's all I know about anyone in Hollywood, right? Now, I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I didn't quite catch on the first few years, though, right? I had to see it on USA when they re-aired it. To around 2000, right? Was when they all come out, right? But I didn't watch it because it wasn't necessarily my favorite show, but I knew it was on the air, right? It's the same with if I didn't watch SVU a lot, but I knew it was on the air, right? See what I mean? You have commercials for the shows, even on other channels, right? Even for different networks, right? You can see, catch the next episode of Big Bang Theory on NBC, right? And what's going on there is the advertisers are cross-paying each other to keep each other in the loop, right? In a way. So you air my upcoming show and I'll air yours, and that's kind of like, getting the message out if you want to watch the show, right? But you can sometimes, and sometimes the channel itself advertises for its own programs too, you understand, right? Now, I'm not sure who owns them all, right? I don't know who owns CBS. ABC is Disney, I know that much, right? Disney got ABC in his pocket, right? That's all I know, right? I think NBC is Universal Studios, which is a big movie production company, right? And then I'm not sure who CBS is. Is that Paramount or one of them? Is one of them. Now Fox is 20th Century Fox. She's a 20th Century Fox. That's all I know. Heard that song too, right? On the radio. Whoa, on the radio. That's Irene Cara there, right? From Clayton. Right? Different song than on theme, but still. If I wanted, right? Whatever. But the biggest thing is listening to yourself and not being ashamed of what you're doing. If you're ashamed of what you're doing, you're not going to do it, right? Right. Okay. Now, I just got back from the movie. It got out a little after 3:30, somewhere around 3:30. So it's been about 2 hours, maybe, I guess, right? It's 5:40 now. So I left, drove home, right? Got home, rested, whatever, right? And now all of a sudden it's 5:40, 2 hours later, right? Used the bathroom, whatever I needed to do, and then, right? I don't know. Since I got home, right? Watched Harry from, I think the part I came in on, this is Chamber of Secrets, is where Tom Riddle is accusing Aragon the spider in the movie that it killed the girl when it was his serpent, right? But we don't, if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. If you haven't, you don't know what I mean, so don't worry about it until you watch the movie, right? It's a movie, it's fictional. The idea of witchcraft is even fictional to the witches. That's even in Harry Potter, you see what I mean, right? They want that kind of power, right? And there might could even be good witches and bad witches in that situation as well, but there's not. They're not, right? Again, give them that kind of power from Satan either, right? Satan's trick has done work. We're all dying, whether you're a witch, warlock, or a Christian, right? And the worst kind of Christian isn't one who would forgive a witch, it's one who won't. You understand? Right. And try to accuse women of being witches and burn them at the stake. That's Satan. That's the worst form of Satan. You're a witch burner of a poor, innocent, poor woman who lives on the outskirts of society because you're rejecting her and don't want to work with her. And you talk about freedom of religion from King George, but then you want to oppress women living on the outskirts of town who are poor and aren't quite Christian, but then you want to burn them at the stake because your daughters tell you they see demons talking to them, and you don't think the child has the demon itself. Yeah. Now, the child's the demonic spirit telling you the women are talking to the devil, right? Well, how does she know it? Unless the devil talking to her too, right? That's called hypocrisy in the church. The girls were accusing the women, right? Not the women, the girls, you understand, right? And anyone accused was put on trial for witchcraft. That's the witchcraft. What the men and the girls were doing, right? Is the witchcraft in the church. The church judging the women and burning them at the stake is the witchcraft, right? Not the women themselves, even practicing witchcraft, right? So you're not supposed to do it. The witchcraft is murdering people before, the judgment day. These women wouldn't have died either. You know what I mean? Right. If it wasn't for those witch trials burning that stake, right? Or whatever the hell they did to them. And, it's like putting a stake through a vampire's heart would also kill a human, right? And keep someone in their grave even if they're not a vampire. Right? Reason is they're finding people with stakes in their hearts throughout Europe, especially Romania, right? Where the vampire legend arose because of Vlad Tepes, right? Right? And Bram Stoker sold the historical idea of Tepes, right? Or Tepes, right? What do you want to call him, right? And used it to make money off of a fictional character called Dracula, which we make more popular or equally popular than Jesus, right? Just like the Beatles said, you're making us more popular than Jesus, right? And you are. And you are. But that's not Jesus' fault. The church, by destroying the Beatles album, showed how demonic they were. Because Jesus wouldn't care if you're more popular than him. He would forgive you and love you anyway. But like John said, he must increase and I must decrease. John the Baptist, that is, right? But like John the Beatles said, right? We're becoming more popular than Jesus, right? They were. Until the evil Christians got involved and started trying to steamroll their album. That's Satan and them, right? Not the spirit of John the Baptist, where he must increase and I must decrease, for either side, right? To put someone's record, which you have to buy anyway, and steamroller it, that's our church today, though. They're more the sons of Belial, like Jesus said, right? Of the scribes and Pharisees of his day. And teaching their disciples to be like them and not like Jesus. See, when Paul said, follow me as I follow Christ, he's lying, right? You can't follow another man as they follow Christ. You gotta what? Follow Christ on your own. Or you're following that man and making him more Jesus than you, right? And then you're not following Jesus at all. You're following a man who will fall. Even Paul was not perfect in his ministry, right? Even Paul had to deal with maybe editors of his letters, even, right? Maybe he spoke more than they wrote down, right? You weren't the one writing for Paul either, right? If he's editing what Paul said, we don't even know, right? But one of the statements is heads in chapter 11 talk about Andro and Guinea, from which the Gnostic got androgynous, adding them as one, right? Which is also in Galatians 3:28. See, there are two passages where Christ is mentioned as the head of the man, right? The man's the head of the woman, but he's the fullness of the Godhead bodily, not the man or the woman. Right? Meaning two are one in Christ Jesus, right? Male or female, Jew or Gentile, bond or free, slave or master. White or black, black or white, whichever one you want first. All the way from the beginning of the fall. Mm-hmm. Once Adam sinned, though, whatever that sin was, right? I doubt it's biting into a fruit because it ain't going to make you wear your naked. From a fruit tree, unless you're doing something with a banana, I keep telling you that. Or sticking up your butt too or something. But then another man would have to show you how to do that, right? That's a wild idea you might not would come up with in the Garden of Eden unless someone showed you that. Do you understand what that means, though? Mm-hmm. The knowledge of good and evil is that you can use a banana and stick it up your butt. I'm not trying to joke around, but I am. Right. Now, if you stick a banana up your butt, though, right, who gave you that idea? The one you weren't supposed to do the knowledge of good and evil with, right? Got you to put the banana up your butt. Now, maybe he showed you how because he was there too, right? In the flesh. Which is, again, another thing the church is taught to deny, that Satan was in the flesh. But if he goes down into the grave in Ezekiel 31, but in Isaiah he comes up out the grave too and is cast out of his grave one day, right? Both have done happen, right? And will occur again, right? Why? Mm-hmm. Satan is rebelling from God, right? He's trying to destroy his mortal instrument, right? Which is us. And in the process of doing that, he would have to commit suicide and drown himself in the sea, right? Or oceans, as we call them today, right? In order to die, you must first kill yourself. If nothing is dying, right? And someone has to be the first to die and stay dead, right? If nothing died after Eden, right? And something died after Eden, right? You understand, right? Something first died before everything, right? And that's why we die too, right? That being is what killed us, right? By suiciding itself, right? But it also tied us into it sexually, do you understand, right? If you have sex with something and it dies and you can be with it too, right? You're killing yourself 930 years later, right? Even if you didn't die 24 hours in the day you ate thereof, right? It don't mean that when it said you will die in the day you ate thereof, right? Right? 930 years they died of that day, right? But a day with the Lord is 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is a day, right? 70 years is missing, right? From the seventh day, right? So 70 and 930 is 1,000, right? Plus 1, 71, plus 1 day. Mm-hmm. Then 2,000 years is 2 years, 2 days, right? 3,000 years is 3, 3, 3, right? 3,000, 3 years, and 3 days, right? Because a day is also as a year, right? A day is also as 1,000 years. And a day is also a day. And why does it increase every year from 1 to 2, right? From 2 to 3, right? From 3 to 4, right? You're adding the same amount of time, right? To each year, right? So you have to, right? For each day that has done past as well. Mm-hmm. I speak to you a mystery being revealed through my little books, right? My little messages on YouTube, my little words of wisdom, my comments to people on YouTube, right? I'm telling you things men don't want to know, right? And now we're almost at the end where he's confronting Lord Voldemort in the Chamber of Secrets and realizes he was the bad guy the whole time. Lord Voldemort is really Tom Riddle, right? Boo. It's almost Halloween, dude, right? Next month, right? Ooh, whichever woman, see how she flies. Ooh, ooh, whichever woman, she got the moon in her eye. I mean, you know that's a group of men singing, right? But don't I sound like them? Yeah, yeah. See, they're singing in harmony. I'm singing in a kind of counter harmony, right? But I still sound like them, don't I, right? That's the Eagles, Witchy Woman, right? And see, legally, if I critique it, right, and say I like the song or dislike the song, that's fair use. That's fair use. I'm parodying it by impersonating it, right? See, part of parodying is impersonating a speaking or singing voice, right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Why do you think Dana Carvey would often try to sound like Jimmy Stewart or the church lady or do characters, right, with his voice, right? Well, is it that special? Well, I'm impersonating the impersonator on SNL. Yes, right. Right, right. Like I done Eddie Murphy before. Who is it? Was that right? When they knocked on the door? Now, I'm not saying again, I don't know the legality of how much I can quote. What? See, that's I gotta be careful. I don't know if I'm breaching any etiquette. Right, right, with impersonation either, right? And see, NBC can get the copyright permission. See, if you got someone on speed dial, right, and you can get the permission, right, and I don't, right, I have to do it under fair use, right? That's what it means too, right? I don't have Stevie Wonder on speed dial like Eddie Murphy and NBC did to get him to do the show. I know. Even if I can sound like Eddie or Stevie or both, right? In singing, right? And I do the same song, right? All around the same song. That's Humpty Dumpty, do the Humpty Dump. Right? I guess. I don't know. I can do black or white, but I don't think that black men can't do white men either, right? You know what I mean? I bet Eddie Murphy can. I bet Eddie Murphy can. Didn't he try to talk like a white person? And dress up in white face, right? And white beard and white hair. And mom, anyone? Anyone. Right, Regina? All right, Regina. When he was, never mind, I've seen it. Right? You ain't seen it yet. Oh, it's $3 for me. I don't know about you, but must be $3. $3 is all I need. Dollars. I think there's a special, right? But see, unconditional love is not sexual love, and it ain't the same, man, right? See, I'm not trying to have sex with any man. I'm not into that. No. But it don't mean I don't love you in the Lord, right? Which is asexual, not sexual, right? It's a different kind of love, right? It's brotherly love, but agape brotherly love too, right? See, agape love plus brotherly love is greater than, right, carnea love, which I only do carnea love with a female. With the ladies, but like I said, right? I gotta ask her age, not Regina's age, but I know she's old enough, but I don't know nothing about her, right? So I don't mess with that, right? I don't write that. I don't talk to that, right? That can talk to me at any time, right? But I don't know that, right? I don't assume that because that makes the ass out of me, right? Not her, not her. Unless you're butting in, right? And telling her I like her when I don't know her, but I wouldn't tell her no if she showed up to the house, but she would have to be bold enough to come to my house, right? And not feel threatened by me. Do I seem threatening? No. No. Not saying she did. Not saying she would. Not saying she wouldn't, right? It's again like even Kim Kardashian or right? Anyone, Taylor Swift or Katy Perry, right? Who I parodied and impersonated before, right? And someone even did a video of it with my 5 octaves with Taylor's trouble. Mm-hmm. Ah, ah, trouble, trouble, trouble. Something like that. I didn't know it. Might have been taken down by now, right? You just gotta look up Chain Team 5 octaves is around there somewhere, right? And there's the basilisk. Thoughts then blind it. That's the phoenix, right? But if you burn a phoenix, what's the myth, Peter? It was still raised from the dead. It becomes again another phoenix, right? From the ashes. Why would Jesus do that? If you were to burn his body hypothetically, and he rose from the dead anyway, that's like the phoenix, right? I'm the order of the phoenix with Jesus, whether he did it or not. You understand, right? I'm just dealing with a hypothetical, right? I tell you that too, right? I don't know they burnt the body, right? You don't know they burnt the body. They're just trying to explain why you can't find the body, right? And I'm even giving him the possibility that he could have burnt the body, right? If they really stole the body, right? Then you got the phoenix that rises from the ashes, and the new phoenix is the old phoenix, and the old phoenix is the new phoenix, right? And it's still asexual resurrection of the phoenix, right? The same phoenix that burnt up is also the same phoenix that rose again, right? Back to life, right? The fire just makes it pure and undoes all its sins, right? And then it is still the phoenix, right? It was when it burnt up, right? As well. A phoenix is always a phoenix, too, right? So you want to add Jesus as the phoenix of the Lord, too, right? If you say they burnt his body, that's what you're doing, right? You're making Jesus a phoenix, right? Right. And that couldn't even stop the resurrection from the dead, right? Go ahead. Make Jesus a phoenix. And say he was still seen of his disciples than 501 men, including Paul. Now, he only spoke with Paul in his mind, right? And no one can hear him but Paul. Is Paul going cuckoo for Coca-Cola? That's a question, because I'm asking you, again, a copyrighted book called the Bible. But I'm doing it under educational purposes, using science, math, skills. You don't know 1,000 minus 930 is what? 70, right? That's just subtraction. That's educational. Why do you think both Moses, whoever wrote Psalms 90, right, verse 4, talks about it being as 1,000 years in thy sight, as a watch in the night, right? And said out of the 930 years, right? Minus 1,070, right? And what 70 from 6,000? Right? In 6 years and 6 days, right? Do you understand, right? What I'm saying, right? About the day of the Lord being as 1,000 years, a year in a day, right? That's all throughout the scripture, right? So you can't add to or take away from the scriptures, right? If you can't do that, and there's 3,000 years, right? And in the third day I will raise you up, right? What does that mean? He can raise you up at the beginning, middle, or end of the day, right? And it can be 1,003 years and 3 days, right? And he's still doing that, right? During the last day, right? Now, what does the last day mean, though? I'm reviving you, right? I'm trying to raise you up, right, to me, right? So that where I am, you may be also, said Jesus. I told you, I will make love to Regina like she could be my wife if she wanted to come. If she want to come, she don't have to come, but she would come. If she came, right? That's all I know. I don't know if she came. I don't say she came. I don't know if she ever came, right? But she would come if she came, right? Whatever that means. But she knows. If she came. And I'm not the celebrity, right? She is. So I'm protecting her anonymity just by seeing the movie, right? And talking about it as we don't know, right? Because we don't know. Because she would have to come at night too. And again, I don't kiss and tell either, right? But I also don't think she would do that either, right? Because she had any means she wants, right? Including me, right? So I don't even worry about that, right? That she would want me, right? See, that's humility beyond humility, right? Because see, humility is not saying, I know this woman wants to have sex with me, so I'm going to have sex with her, right? She might, right? Not even. Won't to have sex with me. First thing I think, right? Why would you want to do that, right? And I know that's Satan because I would like her. But I know I don't know her, so I say, cool man, I don't know her, stop it. Bad devil. Another example, right? If I don't know you, I don't go after you. I don't write you. I don't do silly things, right? I'm dealing with other things, right, in my life, not you. It has nothing to do with you, nor my stepdaughter or my ex-wife, right? I don't mess with them, right? I don't contact her. I don't write her. And if Jonathan don't call me, I don't talk to him either. He's dealing with his own issues, right? As I had to too, right? I didn't always get to talk to my dad or my parents, but when I can, I do, right? Right. They are my family, right? You should at least love your family as Christ loved the church as well, right? He ain't saying you don't love them equal, just not more than. You can't love them more than you love me, right? What does that mean, right? Where if they make you choose between him or them, Not you doing anything to do that, right? And they want to cut you off, right? Or disown you for following Jesus. That's not your fault, nor is it Jesus' fault, right? It's the parents' fault, right? If they do that to you, right? And if they kick you out or disown you, Jesus will take you up, as King David said. Even if your father and mother forsake you, Yahuwah will take you up. Or Yahvahu Hiakad, right? Now I got those names from the old, right? Malachi said Eliyahu and Moshe Yahuwah is part one of the divine name. Yahvahu Hiakad, right? Could be as well. I'm giving you two possible versions of the name. Yahweh has to do with existing all breeding, right? Basically is what you're saying, right? Who he, she, Akkad, male and female. All one in God, right? Because God's in you all and above you all creatures, great and small, right? Whether in heaven above or earth below or in the oceans or even if you can't see them, right? Even if there are lizard people. I've heard of that too, right? But okay. This will take 2 hours to upload, or 3 or 4. Have a good night.